What's good, y'all? This your boy Shatek, the producer. We on the Beatsonfilm network. We call this one Conversations on Film. We have our co-hosts here, Jasmine and Jovan. What's going on, y'all?
What's happening?
Hey.
All right. Jasmine, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Jasmine. I'm from Queens. I'm a Queens girl. We got clear skin and stuff like that. I'm from Hollis originally. Hollis girl, Queens stand up. We got real driveways, backyards, grass in the front and the back. Okay.
Yeah, some project building.
I wasn't allowed to go to the projects. Thank you. I am actually a cannabis consultant. I'm in the cannabis industry. Cannabis and hemp. I used to farm. I used to actually work on a farm. Yes, Black girls do farm upstate. So I literally went from dating the hustlers to becoming one myself, but legally.
Okay. All right.
What's going on? What's happening? It's Jovan. I'm from Hempstead. I got a trucking company. So, if you need some freight moved, scream at me. Come find me, Trice Logistics. But I'm here from Hempstead and let's chop it up. What's going on? Let's talk about it.
What side of Hempstead?
From around the park. Right? So, I'm a Parkside, Midway, all that. It's just a very nice, warm place. It's very welcoming and, suburbs.
So that means you can trust him with the stuff on the truck.
Yeah, you got me.
If he was from the other side.
Trust your guy. Trust your guy.
No.
Come on, I'm coffee bean black. Trust me. Thumbs up.
All right. All right, so we're going to get into some topics, all right? So we're going to talk about your boy, Kanye West, right? The hottest guy in media right now for all the wrong and right reasons. So we're not going to talk about his anti-Semitics and things of that nature.
Gotcha.
But we're going to talk about him having to pay his billionaire wife, Kim Kardashian, $200,000 a month in child support. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so I get it, but I don't get it. And the reason I get it is because if you add it up, right, it's literally a little bit over $2 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from somebody like Kanye, that's really not a lot of money. So I get that part of it. And then again, the kids have a whole lifestyle to obtain. I've actually seen the Kardashians in the city.
Okay.
It's a whole production just for them to get out their car. This is some wild shit.
So they rolling like the president, basically, when it's time.
Yeah.
Right?
They have a whole security team. They have nannies, the works. So $200K a month for 4 kids?
It's 4?
Yeah, don't they have? I think they have 4 kids, right?
Yeah, I believe they have 4.
Yeah, I think
they
they have
got
4 kids.
Northwest, Chicago, and St.
Yeah.
Northwest Chicago and St.
And that's crazy. I knew them off the cuff. I didn't even have
you
to.
different. You know what
Word.
So
this got me stumped here. This got me stumped a little. This got me. You right. Would you say that's about what, 2 million?
Yeah, like 2.4 million or something like that.
What kind of special edition Lunchables are they eating? This what we put. What is in here? What is original gold wrappers in there? This is.
They take Uber Black to school. No, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for somebody, and then you got to think about. First of all, you got to think about his arrogance, right? Because he's always telling everybody.
What has arrogance got to do with?
I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
So he's always throwing up. I ain't got more money than you. I got more money than you. So I'm sure her lawyer used that against him because you got to be very careful what you put out.
Did he say that about her? He said it about other people, but he ain't said it about her though.
No, but he's
not even a billionaire no more.
And then we also got to look at who runs the judicial system. The same people he insulted. So we knew this was going to go for the gusto. Come on, he played himself.
Yeah. Listen, I usually got so much to say, but this topic right here, and with him, and see, I can't, listen, I try to stay out of rich folks' business, you know what I'm saying, when it come to talking money, because, what I see in $2 million, somebody else doesn't see in $2 million. But like I said, They definitely got special edition Lunchables because
for sure, it's lobster.
All right, so basically, Jovan, you don't think he should be paying that amount in child support?
No, because $2 million, right? Let's say you throw everything out the window.
$2.4 million.
$2.4 million. yeah, the lifestyle is through the roof, but you can live off $2.4 million. They can live off the interest of $2.4 million. So that means that she can stop and drop everything that she's doing and literally just live off that. Yeah, the lifestyle will come down some, but it's a difference between wants and needs.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? $2.4 million. She can live off the land of that. So at the end of the day, she could don't bring anything to the table if she want to. The option is there to not bring anything to the table. And I think both parties have to be able to bring something to the table.
All right, so
I agree.
All right, you saying 2.4 million is too much? It's enough for them to live. Like,
I'm saying if you cut the lifestyle, yes.
But the lifestyle,
people live off $50,000,
right? But the lifestyle, right, is actually like they can't go nowhere. Like they can't just be regular. 2.4 million is a lot of money, but that's still regular people money. Like they got to go to the. They have to go to the
so they got to go to
the mall.
So they got to come to our Walmart instead of the other Walmart.
Right.
When they make it 2.4 million.
No. They go to the other Walmart, but you
Walmart doesn't come to them anymore.
Wait, first off, I just disrespected them. They go to Target. All right, they're not going to Walmart. Right. Let's clean this up here. They go on to Target. But all right.
Like I said, I feel like collectively they had a lifestyle for these children, and this money has to maintain it.
That's true.
What I do hope is that Kim utilizes the money properly.
I got you.
When it comes to the kids.
Now, don't they have joint custody still?
They do. They have joint custody.
Joint custody, right?
I'm
pretty sure she's the living.
He's an active parent. He seems like he wants to be around the kids. Every time I see them, the kids are smiling and don't seem to be no issues with that. So I'm hoping that that's not an issue, because you know how it is sometimes when men get put on child support, then it's like, that's all I'm doing. I'm not doing nothing else.
They do the bare minimum.
So I'm hoping that's not the case here. But being for who it is, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Being that it's Kanye, no, I don't see 2.4 million.
You feel like
crazy.
He talked his way into this, and
absolutely,
I got you.
And your ass will definitely cash a check for you, for sure.
Right.
Your mouth will cash a check. Your ass.
I got you. Yeah, I can't think of Kanye in a typical sense of, I would think of John from down the block. You know what I'm saying? We got to separate that when we
you have to, but you kind of don't, right? Like, do you know how many women actually go to court with John or Deshaun from down the block, and they get in that courtroom and pull up his Instagram, and he balling out on Instagram, popping bottles on trips, and the judge looks at that and be like, but wait, you got a whole kid, John.
Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying? Though, yeah, absolutely.
Right, but this may have been, because we weren't in the courtroom, but it could have been the same way with her, to where it was like, look, y'all, and he always talking about he got more money than this person and that person and that person, so give up that $200K a month. And $200K it's people who $200K a month. Do you know what that would do?
Right.
Like,
and then hold on, it's $200K a month, 2.4 million a year, tax free. Because it's child support.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you know what that money can do to a community, a school district, a system? Even though they budgets be, $100 million, but do you know what that extra $2 million can be?
Yes.
You got districts that don't even have buses.
Yes.
So
books.
Books. That's what I'm saying. So
the one thing I will say as a mother and as a woman is, hopefully Kim uses that money just for the kids. Because she pulls in more than enough money to maintain her own household, her own lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So we don't need you running to the surgeon with the kids' money. Like,
but she has more money than
if North wants to put. But that's what I'm saying.
She's stomping her feet in a higher tax bracket.
Right.
Man.
So keep
not even shooting at the same baskets.
Keep your money. If North wants to wear a $10,000 Gucci feather in her hair to school, she should be able to, because Dad provided that.
You're right. You're right.
As long as the money gets used for the kids, I'm here for it.
Also, their dad is like enemy of the state right now, so they have to have some type of protection, because he pissed off a lot of people.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
And
great point of view.
Right. So now it's like, now they have to be well protected.
He almost put them in a state of danger.
Right.
Yes.
They are in a state of danger.
Like literally.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you can you justify this 200,000, Jovan? Listen, their lives are in danger.
Listen. First off, She probably already gets stiflings and stuff from the shows and all that stuff for security and all that already. Like,
but that's business.
It's already lined up.
This is personal.
It's already there.
This is personal though. You can't use your business in personal. You can't commingle.
It's already there.
So when she goes to Target, they can't be paying her unless they're filming her using that security. So she has to have her personal security.
But people take care of their assets, and they invest in their assets, and people have 24-hour security stuff like that on their assets. So,
right.
You know?
And it's a tax write-off.
It is.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so.
You know what? Kanye, spend that money, boy. Stop playing. Get out of
Exactly.
Spend that 200. Spend that 200. But my man John, let's protect him. Like.
Yeah, right.
So, Jasmine, I know you have some controversial views on child support, right? I see it on Facebook all the time. You know, y'all could follow her on Facebook.
Look, I gotta lean around.
You know what I'm saying?
What's these takes? What are these takes?
So I am against putting men on child support unless he is a complete deadbeat. If he's trying to find his footing as a parent, I think as a woman you have to allow him to do that. And his way of parenting may not be your way of parenting, and that's fine. I think a lot of times we let our bitter ass aunties talk us into putting men on child support before we allowed him to show his capabilities as a father. And yeah, you getting money, but is he spending quality time? Can he live? Like, I have a stellar co-parenting situation with my kid's father, and it's to the point I had a gala 2 weeks ago, and I was sitting in the middle. My boyfriend was on one side and their father was on the other, and we were all one big happy family. Because I allow him to be a father. Like, I could have taken him for child support, yeah, and I would be sitting pretty, didn't have to work. I'd be all right. However, when I get the other support that I need, he's there emotionally for these kids. He can help with homework. He's there for everything else. And it's never a time. I remember one time I got stuck in Atlanta. He was like, yo, why you didn't call me? We're friends in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was riding his motorcycle one day. He was riding with this girl. She hit a pothole. Her bike went out of control. She wound up dying. That same day, I made sure me and the kids went to go check on him, because that's still family.
Right.
And I need him to be in a good mental space. I also need my daughters to see their father loved properly as a man.
Gotcha.
So me taking you for child support, I need you to get a house. I need you to be able to advance in life. So me getting $1,200 from you a month or more, it would have been way more than that, because he has a really good job. But me taking that money from you, if it doesn't equal out to what we could build just for the monetary gain, I'm not here for it.
I got to give you, here's where some of the pushback come in. You said, unless they're a deadbeat, you don't feel like, even a good father don't do enough. And when I say that, I say along the lines of when people, you got this image and this portrayal of a good father. You have some fathers, people that, okay, they're involved in their child's lives and everything, but it's to the limit they want to do it. So, yeah, they may pick their child up every day after school and take them to go get McDonald's, drop them off, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, here's some money for groceries, but they don't want to put in when it's time to pay for them braces. Or they don't want to put in with, you know what I'm saying? They're not there to pay for every little small school trip. Money on the child never stops.
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes people think just because they involve and they do things, they can draw lines in the sand and say, oh, well, I just did this or I just did that. Like, yo, the bills never stop. When you go to the doctor, that co-payment, it may be $20 something, but I'm just saying it's something that's continuous and it's always happening. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people want to give to where they want to give to. Well, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand that the life keeps going.
I get
and
that.
It's the small things in between that they don't take care of their situation with. That's why I believe sometimes child support is important.
Sometimes, yes, but I think child support goes way further than just money.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like,
but we're talking about on a money scale basis. That's what it's based on. It's not based on anything else.
I'm a big proponent of meeting people where they are. Right. And a lot of times we try to force people because it's a control thing. So now I can't expect a fish to climb a tree.
That's true.
Right? So if this man wasn't taking you out on dates before you got pregnant, why would you think he's going to splurge on your child? He wasn't splurging on you.
About it.
And it's sometimes it's a control mechanism, right? Or we break up and the first thing I'm hit you with, because even when we broke up, the first thing he said to me was, well, if you put me on child support, let me know. I was offended. And I was like, so maybe like a year later, I was like, yo, where that came from? And he was like, oh, my mother. Oh, your mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the biggest problem with child support is everybody else, not even the two people that's involved sometimes.
Right. So now my father paid child support for me all the way up until I had my first kid.
Wow.
And I lived with my father. We all did. My mother was there. Like, my parents divorced when I was 8. They got back together when I was in high school. So my father paid child support for me and both of my brothers, to the point when I went to college, he kept it going. He kept the child support on.
Gotcha.
And he was like, oh, because you and your mother will have a joint bank account. And the money that I was given, it'll come now straight to you because you're in college. So now I don't got to send you money every weekend or whatever. You have your own money. And my father never complained about the child support.
I got you.
And I went to college. My father paid, both my parents paid for my college straight out of pocket. And I went to Howard. So no loans, my parents made too much money for me to get financial aid or whatever. Like, my last semester, my father swiped his Amex for the whole semester. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my point is just that every situation is a little bit different.
I agree.
And sometimes some people take the idea of, I'm an active father, I shouldn't have to pay child support or a certain amount, when life doesn't stop.
It doesn't.
When it's time for that child to go to camp, you pitching in on camp.
Right.
When it's time, you know what I'm saying? When it's just so much down the line the way you can't just give what you want to give.
But
some people just only want to give a little bit.
You can also put him on child support for a little while.
Right.
And then you can take him off. We never think about that as
absolutely.
women.
Yeah,
you can take him off when he's proving himself.
When a female goes to the judges, don't recommend that. Literally, I know examples where when the woman wants to take the man off of child support, is, are you sure you want to do this? You shouldn't do this. Like, they talk and push for them not to do it.
Right. So, also when you go to child support, right, they ask about time, right? Because time is important. Because if he or she spends 50% of the time with the parent, they bring down the child support because they responsible for 50% of the food, 50% of all the expenses that has something to do with the child. So being that the parent, like you said, Jovan, is an active parent, and you feel like they should still supply more finances, does that make sense when they are that active? Like, what if they cannot afford to do this?
Listen, yeah, I mean, what you can afford is what you can afford. Right. But at the end of the day, you have a child and life doesn't stop. That's always going to be the thing. Life doesn't stop. So unless you're the one I'm just using this as an example. Unless you're the one that's taking them to the doctor, or you're the one that's taking that's doing the extra things that incurs the extra bills, then you need to bring extra to the table. You got to bring something else you have to bring something else to the table.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
those extra responsibilities shouldn't always fall on just one parent. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
That's just what I'm saying.
I agree.
Because life doesn't stop. It's bills every second. It's bills every second with kids.
I agree.
It is what it is. It's bills every second. That's just what I'm saying. So sometimes people just think, I'm active. I have my kids. I see them. I take them. I do this. Okay. The other parent does too, but then they incur the extra things that comes with it. That's all I'm saying. We have to be mindful that it's extra things that comes with it. You can't just give when you want to. That's just all I'm saying.
But I also think there's a level of maturity with that too, right? To where if we were able to sit down and jump into bed, or however we made this baby, we should be able to have some type of conversation.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And because what happens when you on child support? You trying to buy a house, or you bought the house, the roof caves in. Now you need a new roof because baby girl come into your house on the weekend, so I need to know the house is safe, right? But you on child support, and you can't catch your footing because now you have this monthly bill. There's no wiggle room on child support. That's my other problem. Unless you lose your job or you decrease your hours and you go for an adjustment, there's no wiggle room. And shit always occurs. Life just shows up sometimes, right? So what happens when you need something done in your car or whatever, and let's say you do pick baby girl up from school, but you on child support, so now you can't get the car fixed. So now I'm stuck as a mother because damn, how I'm gonna get baby girl? And then, or what I'm supposed to say, oh, it's just your problem? No, we a family at the end of the day. We are still a family, and we still have to figure this out. So I do agree that there has to be some type of compromise, but I'm coming more in the stance of the chicks that's bitter and the chicks who are just trying to put homie on child support because you want a new lace front wig every month. Like this that's not how this works.
What about like differences in parenting, right? Like say for instance, the mother, the custodial parent sees certain things fit for their child, but you don't have no say so, but they think you're supposed to just tap in because this is how they want things to be.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that's 1,000% wrong. Absolutely.
Everybody has to find their footing. And I had to learn that with their father, that I had to give him the grace and the space to find out the kind of parent he wanted to be.
Gotcha.
Because I need him to show up as his best. Like, he's great with homework. I hate homework.
Gotcha.
And I was a nerd in school, but I hate homework. Like, but he has a way of explaining it to them. They get it. He has a deep voice. So once we explain to him, like, once your voice gets to a certain octave, it gets a little scary.
Absolutely.
But other than that, like, he's phenomenal.
I get that. But to the point of what he said, though, that's 100% wrong.
Yeah.
It's 100% wrong. You know, one parent shouldn't just decide the lifestyle or dictate what, and then expect you to be right on board and to carry that burden. I'm only referring to things that's important. You know what I mean? Things that you have to do, not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a doctor visit is something you have to do. I'm just speaking in that nature, those things, or, you know, that. Not anything extra is extra. That is what it is.
Yeah.
You see fit for that? That's what you want, then you carry that. I mean, you can ask me, but if I'm not on the same page as you, I'm not on the same page as you. You're going to have to eat that one.
Right. And I just think it's a compromise. Like, y'all not going to agree on every single thing. It doesn't happen. But guess what? Like, my daughter, we live over here in the burbs. You know what I'm saying? Our oldest is 15. When she got a problem at school, it's squad up. Like, I don't care. We could have been beefing the day before.
Absolutely.
We there. And we're on a united front in front of everybody else. And I think that's important. Like, we got to get back to the village mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes, listen, dad still has to live his life. That's the part that bothers me so much when it comes to women. Like, he's allowed to take a vacation just like you are.
Because you can't be the best parent unless you're the best you. You got to be in your happiest state.
Yes.
I say that all the time.
This
like, you can't.
Struggle that Black women love to carry on their backs. And no offense to any women that really are struggling, because we all go through that. But some of us create our struggle. And we got to realize that factor in too. Like, there's no badge of honor for saying you're struggling as a black woman, as a parent, as a single mother. Like, utilize your village. You need a weekend to yourself. It could be a staycation. Send your kids somewhere for the weekend. Hopefully you have a support system. You've built one. Because like you said, you got to be the best you. It be days I be tapped out.
You're happiest place. You're the best mom, best father when you're in your happiest place.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And your kids pick up on energy and vibes. They're humans. They understand frequencies. They may not understand in depth, but they know when mom is sad. They know when mom is good. They know when mom is overwhelmed.
The key thing you said was human. You know, we get vibes. Come on. Even a baby will get a vibe about a stranger that walks through the door. They know the evil of that person is vibes. Yeah. Definitely vibes.
All right. So, all right. That's good for our child support.
Yeah, right. You can let that one go. Kanye ain't spending that money, right?
Right. Spend that money. So, all right. Boom.
And make sure all checks clear.
Right.
We don't want no bouncies.
So what do you feel? All right. What do you tell your kid, right? When they want to go and hang out with their friends and say go on like group trips, girl trips and things of that nature. Like, what is the laws or the things that you be like, listen, girl, when you go out there with your friends, make sure you have your own money. Make sure you blah, blah, blah. What are certain things that you would instill to your child?
So my oldest daughter is 15. And we just had this whole conversation prior to the situation that happened with the young lady in Mexico, right? To where, and I've always been that parent. I'm the parent who I'll get the party bus. I'm taking all the kids to Fright Fest. I have a huge backyard. I throw all the parties, all the barbecues. I've always been Miss Cross, right? Like the mom.
Gotcha.
Since we moved over here, since she was in the 3rd grade. So I know everybody. I know your mama, My daughter knows the drill. You can't go to nobody's house unless I speak to a parent. I'm going to drop you off. I'm going to talk to the parent. I want to come in the house. I want to see what it look like. Like, I'm that parent, right? So now that she's getting older, and now it's, Mom, I want to go to the movies and I want to go here. So, you know, it's party time. It's quinceañera, sweet 16s, and weekend parties, and the boys. And I had to explain to her, if 5 of y'all go out, 5 of y'all got to come back. And when one starts acting funny, you cut her out the group, because now she's messing up the functionality of your circle.
We all make it.
When you got the fast one who want to run off with the boy, and y'all got to find her and where she at, nah, y'all got to get rid of her. But if 5 of y'all leave, if I got to pick up, if I dropped off 5, it better be 5 getting back in my car. Right. And the minute all 5 of y'all don't, I'm placing a phone call to somebody's parent. I'm that mom, because I know what it's like to be at a party and shooting starts. You feel me? And I'm running through a kitchen, or I'm jumping over a fence. Like, but you gotta make sure you make it home. I never forget, I was in junior high school. My friend, her name was Jazie. We went out for, I don't know, it was maybe like her 14th birthday or something. Her brother bought her a brolic X&O chain. Diamond, iced out, double plated. Yo, we went to this little spot on Jamaica Avenue. This dude yanked her chain. Now, Jazie always been tall. Jazie probably like 6 feet now. Jazie duffed him out in that club. The homeboy ran outside, got his gun. We was getting ready to walk outside. I never forget it. The bouncer spun me so fast. The minute my back went towards the door, gunshots hit the front door.
Wow.
Yo, we ran. I had to run through the back. I slipped on a plate going through the kitchen. Like, shit got crazy. Jazie and I got split up. I wound up in a cab with Daisy's cousins. Thank God they had cab money. I didn't have no money. Jazie had my wallet, everything. And Jazie got in trouble. Her mom was like, yo, she spent the night at our house. What if something would have happened to her? How was I going to go to her parents and say something happened to Jasmine? Like, she's always over here. Like, no, like, this my other kid. And that's when it clicked, like, okay, this is what real friendship was like. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all leave, you got to come back together. So I had to explain that to her, but I'm very big on that. I tell my daughter all the time, the minute you catch a weird vibe, thank God for Uber now. We ain't have Uber growing up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? There's always money on your Cash App. I don't care what it is. My daughter knows the deal. You can call me I don't care if you miss curfew. I don't care if you spend nights in my house and shit get crazy. Call me. If you don't call me, call your father, call your grandfather, she got a whole system.
I got you. Now the thing is, the biggest thing for me now, another thing with that question, are we saying teenagers? Are we saying young adults? Like, what are we putting this in perspective?
Teenagers, young adults, when they're allowed to go without you guys, without the parent.
First rule of thumb that you should be drilling in them is learning people and learning friends. You got to learn who's who and what's what. You got to be able to,
for sure,
weave through and feed.
Discernment.
I mean, listen. People, representatives and stuff always be up, or you can't always see true intentions, but you could kind of get a feel. Look how they treat other people. Look how they do certain things. That stops a lot when you really know your company. You got to know your company in and out. You got to know the good, the bad, know what you accepting and what you're doing, because that fixes a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like the friends that I used to be with, as much as we did dumb things, we was always on the same page that if we ever got pulled over, we were the most nice yes, officer, yes, sir. We were the nice, you know what I mean? To get out of situations. Nobody would mouth off, nobody, like, you know what I'm saying? We all had the same flow. You gotta roll with people that had the same flow and temperament as you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's not gonna lead you into certain things. Somebody that's not gonna be quick to do this. That's the example. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna help or are you gonna do this?
Right.
That's, you know, so are you gonna help or are you gonna do this?
Major.
It's all of those type of things. Like, you can tell and you can weed through who's real friends, even through small situations.
Yeah.
That saves a lot of drama and it fixes a lot of situations. You gotta be able to read people.
Yeah.
Always know your company.
So I bring that up about Shanquella Robinson. She had was
tragic situation.
Was killed in Cabo. And it was allegedly by her friends. There was videotapes that surfaced that we seen her fighting and not wanting to fight. As a parent,
she was also there with her best male friend that she knew since she was little, and they've been on trips and family trips and all types of things before, and he was the main voice on the camera.
Yeah, talking about fight back. Why you not fighting back? Like, I was so disgusted. So disgusted watching that. Like, because I do big trips every year. I mean, we've done girl trips to Bali. I've been to Thailand. Like, I've been so many places. And if I'm organizing a trip, my main thing is always safety.
Right.
Because everybody needs to be comfortable. And the fact that they recorded her getting, and she was just sitting there helpless. Like, yo, to hear her parents talk about her was heartbreaking. When her father said, yo, I will never be able to walk her down the aisle. That was our only child. She had, like, huh?
I got you. But I want to step away outside that a little bit. Here's my question. I don't want to be detached from generations, but friends fight like that? With other friends there?
No.
To that point. You understand what I'm saying? Of course we have friends that brawl, get into it, but don't we jump in and we say, all right, y'all bucking. Y'all going too far. All right, this is enough. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sometimes you got to get things off your chest.
She was just sitting there helpless.
Listen, sometimes you got to get things off your chest. I don't know. I'm not taking up for the girl. We don't know what led to them fighting. She could have been mouthing or could have been anything. Altercations happen. But what about everybody else in that room that let it drag on that far?
Yes.
That's the difference.
I saw a video.
That's the difference. Like,
where
what are we doing here?
Shanquilla was recording, and they were all in a room together. But when she walked in, they stopped talking about whatever they were talking about. But it looked like they were talking about her.
I got
and prior to this happening, and what really bothered me was, like, first of all, one of the biggest rules out the country is you ain't supposed to show your ass in another country. You can get locked up for anything in another country.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that should have been the first rule. Like, does everybody know how to act accordingly? Like, because I don't even know how it got to that point. And then the paramedics said when they got there, she was still alive. And then she died, I guess, in transport.
It was, the stories are conflicting because they changed the story. Remember, first it was alcohol.
Poison.
Then they said within 15 minutes of her injury that she sustained, something with the spine to her neck. It's the stories are up and down.
Well, the paramedics supposedly said she was still alive. The friends came up with the alcohol poisoning story to give her parents.
But here's where things get so funny. Like I said, why are we recording this again?
Because that's the
let me give you a small example, right? It's a video online right now, right? It's so funny. I'm in the video somehow. People are pranking. And we were at the mall. Be with my daughter. Just finished eating. I'm about to go to Chipotle. Get my wife. So if I'm on my way, I'll come to the escalator. I didn't see it when it happened. This kid touched another kid on the escalator, said, hey, daddy, some acting stupid, a prank. And then the kids was like running around to chase him. So he comes down the escalator on the other side, like, yo, you know them? They trying to chase me or whatever. I'm like, yo, nah, I don't know them why. And I kept it pushing. But here's my thing. I say that to say, I'm minding my business. I'm keeping it pushing. I'm not. Why do we pull out our phones right away? I could have stood back, pulled out my phone and said, oh, they trying to do this to him. They're like, yo, the generation of not doing nothing, even when it comes to your friends and pulling out your phone is crazy. My friend is no way my friend is going to get pummeled like that. And I got a phone out and I'm talking, I'm saying, five, all right, it's enough. It's a wrap. It's over.
I guess it's a gift and a curse. Cause like over here, like I said, over here in the burbs, my daughter, cause the schools out here are still racist, right? So my daughter is always prompted when it comes to dealing with an adult, and she thinks it's gonna go left to pull out her phone.
I got you.
Because
that's a
they
whole
lie.
Situation. That's
right.
a completely
so something like that. But I wonder, do kids understand the line that's drawn there, right? To where if it's adults, okay, possibly. But we do live in that world where
I can't
people
see
pull
friends,
out. But look,
friends are in the room fighting and you recording. What are we doing?
But people pull out their phones and watch people die. People pull out their phones, and before ever administering help, calling 911, like we live in a very crazy world.
I got you, but like I said, that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it back to the point to where I didn't pull out my phone. I'm not like
First
this.
Of all,
let's
just be clear.
People are different.
And I don't know what the sexual orientation was of the male in that video, and I'm not going to assume. But what real man? I don't care whether he likes men, whether he's heterosexual, homosexual. What real man on earth would stand by and watch two females brawl, because that was a brawl.
Absolutely.
Fight like that.
Well, it kind of wasn't. It was her getting whooped on.
Right. It was
and
an
just
ass
sitting
whooping.
there and not
So
really
it's
hitting her
like,
fighting
'cause
back.
I
I mean,
know-
at some point.
I know I have an uncle, you know what I'm saying, who's homosexual. He breaking it up. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna be like, y'all ain't, this ain't how ladies act. You know what I'm saying?
We all way. Why you want that in your vibe?
Right.
Fighting? What? Y'all,
Right.
yeah, Mexico. You
Right.
We gonna go get in these jet skis
And you're in
tomorrow? Like, what are we, what
one
are
of the
we
most
doing?
beautiful parts of
Yeah,
Mexico,
what are
which
we
is
doing?
Cabo. Like,
Yeah, what are we doing?
that's the grown and sexy vibe. We not in Cancun.
Yeah.
This ain't spring break. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. It was unfortunate to see that her parents had to bury her behind that. Something that vacation is supposed to be a fun vibe, and that she didn't make it back.
Gotcha. That's why I tie it all to, like I said, know the people you with. You gotta know you gotta know personalities.
But let's be clear.
Is my friend going to record or they going to break it up?
Right.
You need to know that. You need to know what kind of friend you
And
have.
don't get
You need
me
to know what kind of friend
wrong.
you have.
You have to categorize all your friends, because if you got a group, you gotta know who's gonna record, who's gonna break it up, who's gonna be the voice of reasoning, who's gonna be the mediator. You gotta know, because you have to be able to categorize your
Absolutely.
friends, because
Yep.
everybody's
All
not
that.
gonna
Yep.
play the same role, right?
Yeah.
But all I know is, let it have been my daughter, baby, baby.
You ain't coming back to the town.
Everybody
You're not
on
coming
that
back to
trip,
the town. You're
it
not
would have
coming
been a
back to the town.
problem.
You're not coming back to the town.
No,
So
it would have been a
Coming back to the
problem.
town.
So they saying Mexican prosecutors have filed charges
Charges
against
now.
a-
And they should have.
They're asking for her to be expedited.
And if you know, like I know, don't nobody want to go to jail in Mexico.
Mexico.
What they do?
Right.
They stuff burritos in your what? You remember that from the blue streaks? And they said, you don't want to go to jail in Mexico. They stuff burritos up you.
Right.
You know what it is.
Right. So y'all feel like you're right that Mexico should take this case.
Yeah, they have to. They under pressure now. They have to.
Yeah,
They have
and when that's the whole point of having passports, is that they owe a certain I forget the word I'm looking for. But they have a certain jurisdiction to uphold once you go over there and you're
Absolutely.
a resident from over here to keep you safe and all that other craziness. The other thing I want to say outside of that is, while you are traveling abroad, everyone should have a portable carbon dioxide detector.
That is a listen. As much as I travel,
Get one.
and it was all them cases. What was it? DR and all the places people. Yeah, you right.
Get one.
I never just.
I don't
think
care
to
if it's
do
a
that.
hotel. I
never
don't
think to
care
do
if it's
that.
an
You know what?
Airbnb. You need to have fresh batteries in it. Make sure it works
Right,
before you
you're
leave,
right.
because you don't know what's in
Right.
their air
You're
over
absolutely
there,
right.
and that is a silent killer. So
Yeah, absolutely right.
I'm on
Message.
I'm on Amazon
Message.
right now
Send
purchasing.
one to my house right now. Message.
Purchasing
great
right
Christmas
now.
gifts.
Let's message. Message. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Dropped a little gem in between. I just didn't think. I didn't think. As much as you know what going on, sometimes you don't think to be proactive in certain situations
Yeah.
like that. But that makes sense. And I travel way too much, 2 or 3 times a year. Way too much.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do that.
That- you
That's
definitely
way
need
too
one.
much.
Shit, I'm about to order right now because I'm out of here. All right, moving along, right? So there's this big debate. Well, this debate been going on for years, especially on social media. The whole thing with couples going 50-50.
No.
Absolutely.
So
not.
50-50, how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna let the man start.
Listen.
This time.
All right.
Let's be real here. It's no such thing as 50-50. It just doesn't exist. Watch this. Watch this. Love you, baby, baby. Women do everything. They run like you. How can it ever be 50-50 when they're making a home, and it's so many minor details that go on that it's never 50-50. It never is. And plus, it depends on. It's all about our situation. You got to do what works. So one party makes a little bit more. You're responsible for more. It just is what it is. You need to carry the load and do what you do. This is not the 60s when only the man worked and he had to pay all the bills. So yes, you need other incomes, and society is just different now. But 50-50, oh, you got men be tripping. You want a female to pay 50? They want half of everything and then cook, then clean, and then do everything. You wildin', fam.
Yeah, no.
You wildin', fam. Ain't no such thing as you gotta pay the cost to be the boss if you want all that, man.
Thank you, because that's
Come
what I
on,
was
man,
just
and
about to
that's what
say.
I do. I step in, I
Exactly.
take it, I throw it around, I take us on
First of
vacations, I
all,
do everything. Nah, ain't no
let's
such
be
thing as
very
50-50.
clear.
Like that's crazy.
You cannot talk about submission and 50-50
That's
in
ghetto.
the same situation.
ghetto.
It doesn't work that way.
That's
You want
ghetto.
your woman to be submissive. you got to be the king of the castle. And being the king of the castle means you're going to take on a little bit more of a burden, whether it's financially, whether it's leadership wise,
absolutely
something. Yeah. And like you said, like Jay said, it has to be, it's subjective to every situation. But I just had this conversation literally today. And for the longest, my boyfriend was like 50-50, yup, 50-50, until I broke it down to him and was like, but if you make substantially more than I make, then why would it be 50-50? Because then now I'm struggling. And if you really love me, you wouldn't want to see me struggle.
Absolutely.
And so when I broke that down, he was like, well, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. And then I said to him, like, my boyfriend is a phenomenal date person. He can plan a date from beginning to end. Like, and I mean, like, his dates be, like, compared to mine, my dates look like Chuck E. Cheese compared to his. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, I said, you'll always give more than 50-50 because date night is your thing. And you put a lot of time, effort, and money into our date nights. So you're always going to give more than the 50-50. Now, I'll cook. But that's the compromise.
Absolutely.
I'm not here for 50-50. 50-50, we roommates.
Yeah, that's 50-50.
We're roommates. And if you're going to nickel and dime everything for 50-50, we don't even need to be together. Because I don't ever want to be in that kind of relation. I don't want it to be like, I see a nice shirt and I'd be like, nah, we only going 50-50. I can't buy him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's crazy.
That?
Now, but you know what, though? You may have a couple in a situation that it works for them, that they kind of have to do things that way. I can't tell other people how to live. I'm just saying what works for me. And you know what I mean? Me and my wife, me and my partner. That's
I don't even attract men to have a 50-50 mentality. I don't. To me, 50-50 sounds like you want me to propose to you. I'm not doing that either.
Yeah, so what if y'all both make the same amount of money? How does that work?
But like I said, it's all about your situation. It's a 55. It's all about your situation. 55.
I don't care if it's 51%. You got to give me more than 50.
Why?
Because you want to be the king of the castle.
All right, so
because I'm gonna make sure you feel that way.
That's where it go.
I'm just saying, as a man, even if we making the same, I do want to give more. And you know what I mean? Like I'm just of that cloth and wanting to spoil her, and I want to give more and do
Listen,
little,
you
take that and you go do that.
I'm not saying all men are like that, but you can't want no woman to be calling you Poppy and Big Daddy and all that, and you ain't heavy as the head that wears the crown. Yeah. Like, bro, you can't want these titles and you're not pulling it. And then if you're talking 50-50, don't be mad when she starts talking to you on the level of 50-50. To where she started to, yeah, son, you know, whatever, bro. Like, no,
you're not valid, right?
Right. Like you, because you got to understand a woman, and I'm not talking just money, but when a woman feels secure, and that is a part of paying bills, and I'm not saying the man's supposed to pay all the bills. That's not what I'm saying at all. I do believe in holding my own financially. I have for a very long time, but you do want a little bit of the burden to be taken off, and that doesn't mean that his burden should be any more either, right? Because if we're together, it shouldn't be that if you were single at one point, I was single at one point, it shouldn't be that now we're together, the burden is more.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because then what are we doing here?
Right,
right? So I can make the house feel like a home. I'm going to make sure you will put on that pedestal. I don't give a damn if it's something I know I could do. If it's a jar in the house and I know I could open it, I might come because I want to make you feel like the man of the day.
That's a good, you gotta make a man feel like a man.
Open this jar. Could you come open it for me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's key.
Everybody wants to feel needed and wanted and in their rightful place. So you got to bring me more than 50-50.
All right, so 50-50. Now 50-50 where, what if you guys don't live together?
So
y'all in a real relationship, real ass relationship, but y'all just don't live together.
I mean, but
that's my situation.
But
he has a house.
There's no such thing as 50. If y'all not living together, if y'all not sharing in a
right, you know, then that doesn't count. We're not putting nothing in the pot.
Very weird. Not weird. This is our thing. You know what? Me and my wife actually do 50-50 on all the time. When we go out, and it's not on purpose because she likes to do that. She like to say, I'm taking you out, you taking me out.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes she don't even.
Right, that could be.
I mean, a lot of times I'll be like pushing her car, like, yo, no, like, nah, but she always, no, put like, I'm paying for you, you paying for me. Like, that's we are habitual daters.
How did it make you feel when she paid?
Listen, go ahead, do what you do, girl. Go ahead with that car, girl. You working all hard with your pretty ass. Put that car.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
that car on that table, girl. Go ahead, do what you do. Like,
yes.
Slap that card on that table. Yeah. I mean, that's our thing. So, it's because we are habitual daters. Like we date.
As
date,
you should.
date,
That's
date,
what
date,
keeps
date.
it
You gotta
spicy.
Date.
Keeps it
So,
spicy.
middle of the week, anytime, hop out. All right, come on, let's go. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Wake up.
as it should be.
Put some clothes on. You know what I mean? Put on something pretty.
Yes.
Like that's
As it should be.
sporadically.
And it shouldn't be a WYD, what you doing? Nah, fam. Hit me with the be
I'm
ready
pulling
by
up.
7
Yeah, I'm pulling
o'clock.
up.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, give
Go
me
get you a little
instructions.
black dress. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
Yes, give me some instructions. Be ready by 7. I made a
Mm-hmm.
hair appointment for you. I already paid for the nails. Whatever it is. And when you show her certain things as a woman, if she's a real woman, she's a real one. She gonna reciprocate the hell out of that for you.
Right. So what if the women's make the women's?
The woman's making
Like,
more.
What if the women's the women's
Love a woman.
Them women's.
the women's make more than the man?
Very-
Like substantial amount. Like say for instance, he makes 50, she makes 120.
120. Yeah.
So you got to think about what that entails for her, right? So
Y'all live together.
so at one point I was I'm still a life coach or whatever, but I specialize in relationships. And I used to specialize in married couples and things like that. So I used to have a couple who I was counseling, and the wife did make more than the man.
Which happens, yeah. Sometimes they
But she didn't know how to turn off the authority when she got home.
Big deal.
So it became
Big
a
deal.
problem in the household where he would be like, hold up, you ain't at work, you home now, and you're talking to me, right?
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut, but you know what? Look, we going a little bit left, but when you say don't know how to turn it off, that happens in a lot. Somebody don't even have to make that much more. Sometimes in the job that you do, even just somebody being a teacher, they tell people to do all day, then they come home and do the same thing. You know what I mean? Even if you're a manager in the office, you tell people to do all
Right.
day, you come home, you do the same. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's kind of what you do all day. So they bring that
So-
attitude home.
To bring it back to the money side of it, it was like she paid more of the bills, so she felt
Understandable.
like he had to listen to what she said. It became a control thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, that's not right. Just because you make more money than him or you pay more of the bills. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Because like I said, if she's going to pay more of the bills and you still going to be a human at the end of the day, and it's not a control. Because as women, a lot of us have control issues.
Oh,
But how
every
was
woman
that-
has control. I'm sorry.
We really, a
Yeah,
lot of us.
All of us. All of us got
How do
control
we
issues.
how do you say you don't know, but you know for sure that this guy got to give up 50%?
Huh? What you mean by that?
No, I mean 55%. Like you don't know.
Because for me, this is just for me. For me as the man, if you want to be my man, you gotta give a little bit more if you want to be the head of the household. Because I am the head of my household now, and it's my boyfriend and I don't live together, so I have held down my household for years. You know what I'm saying? So if I can do that on my own, why are you here?
They can't hear you.
If I invite a man out, if I invite you out,
Very
I'm paying.
interesting. All right, very interesting, right? We're going back. Listen, oh man, the subject done twisted a little bit. It twisted a little bit, but listen. We're going back years ago. We're going back years. It's going back like 10 years ago, right? A little bit further than that. Dating a young lady. We've been on about 5 dates. Me paying, me doing everything. One day, she hits me, FaceTime. Hey, I miss you. I want to see you. Da, da, da. Let's go to such and such. You know what I'm saying? Come to my house at this time. Da, 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 right? I go pick her up. We go to the date. And then at the end of the night, I'm still supposed to pay?
No,
I'm still supposed to pay?
no.
Crazy. I'm like, yo, wait, hold up. And she looking at me like, you about to pay, right? I'm looking around. I'm like, you called me, you FaceTime me, said you miss me. You said you want to go here. You said you initiated a whole date and time and everything. But then I'm the bad guy because I don't want to pay.
What was the
And this is not
relationship?
You said what?
What was the relationship like? Was you hitting it at a time?
No.
Oh shit, yeah.
And you wasn't
No.
hitting those
No.
fans? No yams. You wasn't.
No,
hitting
she
those
was
yams?
very religious. I'm not, but I'm just saying, but it was still just it was over about a month and a half. It wasn't that long. But I'm just saying it was kind of constant, like, yo, every other week we going out. Every other week I'm coming to get you. I was working on something. I was chopping wood. You know, when you chop wood at a tree, you got to swing the axe about a few times. You know what I mean? Some trees are bigger than others. Listen, and
ladies.
I'm like, yo, are you serious? This is what we doing right now?
No, that's
in
trash.
my mind, I'm looking like, yo,
that's trash.
I gave her the church hug and never talked to her again. Right away.
Oh, you gave her the pat?
I paid. I say, yo, wow, like. And she was like, you want me to, she got kind of upset. She said, you want me to pay? I said, you called me. You asked me. You told me what time. You said where to go, everything. You said you missed me. And it's not like this was our first, if it was the first 2 or 3 days, this is like the 5th date or after the 5th date. This is.
So is it like a limit to the dates? Like, okay, after a certain amount of dates, the woman should
don't
pay?
ever have to pay.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is don't initiate a whole situation and then treat me like I'm cheap or being poor. You understand? That's what I'm saying. That's the whole. I would have paid if I called her and said, "Let's go out. Let's do da." You know what I'm saying? Like, but don't initiate a whole situation and tell you the time, place, everything, and then you get there and then say,
or even like
a man could be taken out once or twice. We done been on 5 dates already.
Even in the instance, and I know we getting away from the 50-50 for a second, but even in the instance of like, because, you know, it's the conversation of getting flued out, right? And are you obligated when you get flued out? Now, you're not. But what I will say, is, I never forget, my boyfriend and I, we had started dating. We were dating for, a couple months, whatever. He was like, oh, send me a picture of your license. And I was like, wow, the picture looks horrible. Sent him a picture, I think like, within 10 minutes, I had a confirmation for a flight. Okay. So he took me away. So what I did was, and I mean, like, he really, like, this was like a date weekend, right? Okay, cool. So what I did was, I knew where we were going. I found like a mobile spa. So I surprised him once we got there with an in-suite couples massage in the works or whatever. Like, ladies, that's something you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It doesn't always have to be just the man doing, like, who don't like to be spoiled? I don't even want a man that don't understand. Like, my man manicures, he needs to be well groomed. So I don't mind. Like, we go to the same, me and my man go to the same nail salon.
Gotcha. Same thing with my wife, same thing.
So if he goes before me, he'll make my appointment and he'll pay for it.
She make all my appointments.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha,
but that's just how we are. So, but that's that give and take. So where we not thinking of now 50-50. We thinking just, and we got to get back to that as human beings. Stop thinking about how the other person treats you. How am I treating you? What can I do for you? Like, that's such a valuable question in relationships. What can I do for you? How can I help? What do you need from me? Like, let's start thinking about how we treat other people and to change the narrative, because I'm tired of that.
That's a good point.
We real selfish.
Yeah. But 50-50 though, nah.
No,
I'm not.
No, I want to come into my man's arms so he then know I'm dealing with a man. I don't want to be laying on him.
It's not saying that she is the person you with is incapable, but it's just like, nah, you're not.
Yeah, no.
You're not doing 50-50. It's not happening. Yeah. But if you make all the money and, and I don't really make money and we have that situation is different. Like what was said, if she's making 120 and he's making 50, you got to do what works for y'all as a couple.
Right. If I'm making 120, he's making 50. When I get home, the house needs to be cleaned.
Whatever you say, that's your
dinner needs to be at least prepped if it's not cooked. Laundry needs to be done.
They need to date within their same tax bracket,
no,
same range. Like, what do we?
You can
now
date
you making
outside.
it something else. I'm saying you making it something else now.
No, you can date outside of it, but if we're in the same household and I'm making 120 and you making 50, I'm usually probably putting in more hours at work than you are making 120.
It's not true, because you most jobs when you make more, you actually doing less in this world.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, right, I could be sitting at my cubicle, or I could be at home punching numbers on the computer, and
I just need my man.
And you a janitor at, you know what I'm saying? And
I need him to smell like a man. I need him to be a man. I need him to be a man. Like, if you're in the household and the garbage needs to be taken out, I need you to take out the garbage.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, I still believe in certain things being gender roles. That's just me.
Gotcha.
All right. So 50-50 is not really 50-50. There's no such thing as
50-50.
There's no such thing as 50-50.
Somebody always bringing more to the situation. As always.
Yep.
Whether it's emotionally, financially, every way you look at it, there's always
Yep.
going to be something, you know?
That's a fact.
All right, so you've been with your partner for years, right? And the question is, when are we gonna get married? Right? It could be from either partner, right? And it just isn't happening, right? There's engagements and everything. Like, how much longer do you stay in that relationship? It's a great relationship, but it's just no marriage. How long do you stay in something like that?
Listen, everybody's different, man. Some people don't even want to get married. Do both parties truly want to get married? Some people just don't even. Oh, it's just a piece of paper and all.
So I
Some
never
people,
wanted to get
some
married.
people are always. That's what I'm saying. So
I
it's
never
just
want to
like,
get married. I've changed my mind now that I'm older because I've seen what it takes. And I've seen, it's so funny. I was in church and like they had like the marriage ministry did like this dance. And something clicked in my head and was like, oh, this is a partnership. Like it's not because my parents got divorced when I was younger. Then they got back together. But marriage has always been a big thing in my family. People are married 50, 60, 70 years. So for me, it was like, once my grandmother found out I didn't want to get married,
she was on your
hit the
heels.
roof. Yo, she ain't talked to me for like 2 years.
With the blood of Jesus after that,
She's
like
a
you know the
minister. You already know. She ain't
attacked
talked
you?
to me. And I'm like, but it's my decision. But that's also because I hadn't been in any kind of relationship where I even thought marriage should be a thing.
Gotcha.
But now that I'm getting older, I'm understanding the partnership. I'm understanding the value and the beauty of marriage. So for me, to answer Shatek's question, you got about 3 to 4 years to propose.
Mm-hmm.
And after the proposal,
you got a time limit, 3 to 4 years. All right.
Because at this point, at almost 40, we should know where we going. And
should you live together first?
Yes.
No, I agree.
Absolutely, because you get to see who people really are when you live with them. Because my God,
you need to see the worst,
baby.
All day.
And secondly, if we get engaged, unless it's a financial issue that we're having, this marriage needs to jump off within 2 years of the engagement. I'm not about, this ain't gonna be no Chrissy Jim Jones 18 years. We're not doing that.
I agree. I think you get engaged. When you get engaged, you're figuring out the wedding. Like,
absolutely.
People get engaged and say, I'm engaged.
No.
When I got engaged, we got married within like a year and a half. When we got engaged, we started planning. Okay,
right.
We're gonna go to Mexico. We got married in Mexico. Like it was a whole, it was a lineup after that. I was like, okay, here's the timeline. We're gonna do our save the dates for a year span. And like when you get engaged, it's supposed to be a plan.
Yes.
People get engaged to say, oh, we're gonna get married. We're engaged. I mean,
when?
So
like, when are you gonna get married?
Yeah, like when you know what I mean? They just get engaged and say, we're engaged. We're gonna get married one day.
So it's a perfect relationship going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are having a great time as fiancés, and it's just no movement with the wedding. And it's like the other person's like, you know what? I don't think we need to have a wedding. I don't think we just need to rush into the marriage. And it's a great relationship. How do you feel about that?
I would have to unpack that.
Yeah, how great is the relationship?
Right.
How great is the relationship? How great? Is it really great?
Yeah, it's great. The only thing missing is the paperwork.
Well, what is it? Is a prenup the issue? Because I don't have a problem signing a prenup. I actually think they're necessary. So what would be the issue then? Unless it's like,
is it fair? What is it in the person?
Right. Like, so there's got to be something missing that you don't want to take that leap with this person that you claim you love. Because you got to think about it this way. If I really love you and we're not married, I can walk away at any time. And somebody else is going to get all this good.
Even while we engaged, we didn't get married.
Right.
You single till we get married.
So for me, it would be a no. And you have, at this point, I like date with intention. What's the point of this? Do you want to get married? Do you not? You can change your mind, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of strange.
Yeah. I mean,
if it's so
great.
perfect,
yeah,
why
if
not?
it's so perfect, yeah.
Right. So all right, running back a little bit to like, you know, the 50-50 and all that stuff, right?
Mm.
As a man, right, your wife is not letting you lead,
All that is very
and
interesting.
the guy is a person that will be the person to lead. Like, he's doing everything he's supposed to do, and she won't let him lead.
Married or not married?
Both.
That's
Like, they're not. She's not. Not saying obeying. She's just not like being able to be led.
and a lot of women have a problem with it. I'm
Yes.
sorry, ladies.
They
I'm pointing at you. Yes, the way society, the way things are set up now, a lot of women struggle with letting a man take the lead. It's
Okay, so I do have to come to ladies' defense here. Sometimes it can be two very big factors. Number one, you never had a father in your life, or you didn't have a father example, right? The male role model. So you don't understand what that leadership looks like. So to you, it looks more like control than leadership or being protective. To where, to this day, if I go shop with my father, I don't carry no bags. He's carrying everything. And I'm watching my father get older. My father just turned 62 yesterday. So it's like,
Happy birthday.
thank you. But my dad be like, I got it. Like he's a man's man.
got you.
So if I had a man that wanted to, I understand letting the man open the door for me, pick up my bags, because that's what I grew up in. There are a lot of women that didn't grow up in that.
Another thing with some women, sometimes that's because they came from control. And I say that to where like they're used to having to do everything. So actually having a man with leadership skills and stepping up is so foreign to them. They don't even know how to take to it because they so used to just doing everything on their own time and stepping out and running and doing this and that and being in control of everything with it. You got to have the power to let power go. You know what I'm saying?
Like when I had my second daughter, because my daughters have different fathers. When I had my second daughter, I used to do everything. And her father would be like, I'm standing right here. Like, I could have put the snowsuit on. I could have did this. Jazz, you don't got to do everything. Like, I'm here to help. Yeah. And I had to relearn, because I was in survival mode with my first kid, as a single mother.
But then women, you got to get patience too, though.
Yeah.
Not just because you snap your fingers and you want it done right now, it's going to be like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with
everything. The world don't revolve around you. It's not just on your time. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Let a man get to it when he get to it. I'm not saying forever or days. But
I agree in letting a man be a man, but you also have to know what kind of man you want. Because all men are different, right? So like, again, back to my father. My father's the man who, to this day, if we go somewhere, my father follows me all the way home in his car to make sure I made it home safely, and then he'll go home. Like, so I would look for my mate to do that. And a lot of men don't understand that because they weren't raised like that either. Right. So it may be weird to me, like, so why you don't do that? But if you never saw that, like one of my exes, we lived together for a short period of time. And I never forget, one day he was like, yo, you always get out the bed after me and you never make the bed up. And I was like, so what's the big deal? He was like, but I always make the bed up if I'm in the bed after you. He's like, don't you like coming home to a bed that's made up and it's nice and neat and crisp? And I've been making my bed up ever since. Like, that was just a staple moment. Like, I care that much about you that when you come back home, I want you to be able to just lay down and be comfortable. And I didn't understand it because I never lived with nobody. So it was like, if my bed was a mess, so what? It's just me. So I get it. But I also understand men also got to let women cater to them too. There's a lot of y'all that have really, because a lot of you men have really been hurt. And y'all haven't tapped into being men don't living up to the hurt, right?
We don't deal with that. So
a lot of y'all, a woman will be like, yo, let me make you a plate. Oh, I can make my own plate. Yeah, but I want to make your plate.
I need my plate made.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But there are men like that. There are men who don't want the woman to be that. Like today, my boyfriend went to go get his hair cut, and I was right down the block handling some business. So I said, he had to go back to work. I said, I'll pick you up and take you right back to work. He was like, oh, nah, I could just jump on. He works for transit. Oh, I could just jump on a bus, but I'm right here. Let me do it. He was like, all right, then come, you come get me. Sometimes you gotta just let your partner be a partner.
But let's spin the block a little bit to the question. The question was, when the man is doing everything, or not the man, well, a person is doing it, but I guess it is the man, but the female is still not being submissive.
how-
Then what,
what-
like still not
what-
letting him lead, not submissive, not letting him lead and be a man.
But what if
when
he
he's
thinks
playing
he's
it
doing
on-
everything, but she doesn't think he is? That's why I said you got to know who.
That's true.
You got to know what kind of man
But some
you
people
got.
you can never please, no matter what, because then they'll move the
Absolutely.
goalposts. Once you show them in a certain
Yes.
way, then it's something because they don't want to give up the power.
Yes, but
And
you
some-
also, you got to know what you're looking for in a mate
And
before you even start dating.
Sometimes giving up that power makes them feel insecure inside. Makes them feel insecure.
Yeah, or it's
You know what I'm
past
saying?
trauma, something
Yeah,
come up.
they're insecure because of the things you're able to do. They feel worthless. You know, sometimes we all got to know how to find our own worth anyway. Some
Yes.
people don't know how to find their own worth, so they think by letting you run this or do this or control that, now they're not useful. They don't even know what they bring to the table sometimes
Yes.
inside. So sometimes it's a problem with them. It ain't
You also,
you.
and I know everybody thinks it's cliche, you really do have to know your love language, and it could change throughout your life,
True.
right? Because you can have multiples at one time. But like me, you could buy me a set of diamonds. It's nice. I'm gonna appreciate. I'm gonna tell you thank you. But if you sat and watched a movie with me,
It means
and
more to you. I got
it
you.
means way more.
Got you.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? You
different.
bought me a bag of Snickers because I love them. Like
Mhm.
I'm gonna cherish the Snickers more than I might cherish the diamonds, just because that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that about your partner too. Like we really have to learn who we're with. Doubling back to the question, like, yeah, he can be doing everything, but what if it's the wrong everything? What if what you consider is everything I consider to be minimal? You might be like, yo, I took out the garbage. You were supposed to. Like, you don't get, you know what I'm saying? You don't get
Gotcha.
applauded for that. So I guess it would depend on what you consider. But also you got to realize when a man or a woman is doing everything to try to please you or try to make you happy or just to keep the peace, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. It's no different than when you go to work. If I go to work and I put my best effort and my boss doesn't say good job or they don't recognize it, it's like, damn, I did all of this for no reason. Same thing in relationships, yo.
Mhm.
You like, yo, thank you for folding the clothes. Thank you for thank you for turning the shower on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, all of them.
thank
yeah,
you for
I got
wiping down the sink. Whatever it is, it could be something so minimal. And it's a lot of times in relationships, it's the little things that are so big.
Sure.
All right. So, say for instance, right? Not just letting them lead. Like kind of like denouncing his or her choices. Say for instance is like it's a business situation, right? And it's something regarding the family. So say for instance, you guys got to purchase a new roof for the house, right? And the guy say it's $15,000 to do it, you know, parts and labors or whatever. And she's like, all right, we'll pay. And the husband is like, you know what? I think we could talk him down to 12. And she's like, no, let's just pay the 15. We don't want to deal with this. We don't want to have to go back and
That is
forth.
so me.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So how do you deal with something like that? Like she's not letting him, you know, do his thing. Like,
Well, I'm just saying,
negotiate.
my rule of thumb is the person that's more experienced in that lane should be the one, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like, let's be real here. It doesn't make you less of a person if that other person has more experience in negotiating and business and things along that lines and understanding and
So for me, I would have to feel like you are a negotiator because you ain't about to embarrass me to now we look like we begging. I'm that woman, like, because I'll be like, man,
But-
just pay the 15, like,
but
do
you
not
can't-
embarrass us.
But rule of thumb, you never say nothing in front of the other person. At least y'all talk to yourself. See,
Right.
that's the first problem.
Right.
So obviously somebody I'm sitting next to over here is not good at negotiating because you ready to
I'm
just
give him all the
not.
money.
I'm
You know,
not.
like,
I'm that person.
Can
that
y'all
be
have
like,
a powwow by yourselves first before you know what I'm saying?
now, I am the frugal one, right? So I will be like, you know, I think we can get it for.
Okay.
But I understand the man just pay what the balance is, right? Because, like, all right, my best friend is Nigerian. She will nickel and dime the hell out of anybody that she can. And to the point you be like, bruh, what? So I don't know. Sometimes it's like I don't want to feel embarrassed. Like I don't want the person walking around like, look, they broke asses. They ain't even got the 15, but need this roof. Can we pray about it? No, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Listen, I'm just saying, let the person that's experiencing it, let them do what they do. Let them.
No, yeah, you're right about
Let
that.
them, you know what I mean?
agree.
Who has the
agree.
expertise? That's it.
I
That's
agree
who
with
has
that.
more the expert. Who does more research? Who has more? That's it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a partnership.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like I thought, you know what I'm saying? If that's,
I agree. But he has to be able to lead in that aspect. Don't bring Pookie in here to patch up this roof. And now we gonna have Thanksgiving dinner and some shit falling from the ceiling. Like, we're not having that neither. Like, because then that happens too. Like, what happens when you got a dude and you know somebody
you
always
gotta
like,
live
yo,
with
I
those
got
mistakes.
a
I don't want to
cousin.
hear it. You gotta live with
Nah,
those mistakes.
bro, no.
You gotta listen. They're
No.
gonna happen once or
No.
twice. You gotta live with it.
No, because then you
gotta live with it because you're gonna make those same mistakes about other things too.
Listen,
so.
but then the other side of it'll be you'll like, so let's use the roof for example. Like, yo, the roof $1,500. He'll be like, yo, you know my Uncle Bubby, he can fix the roof for $500. And now here come Bubby, and all Bubby want is $500 and a plate of food. And now my roof lopsided.
You gotta fix it again later.
Right.
I hear that, but you know, trial and error. You gotta give them a few mistakes. You gotta give them a few mistakes.
No.
Mistakes.
Hell no. We could have did this right the first time. Hell no.
You know, I'm more on the side of paying. I am different. I pay the cost to be the boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That actually frustrates my wife a little bit. You're not gonna I'm not touching that.
Nah.
I work hard every day.
Exactly.
I'm paying a landscaper. I'm paying.
Oh, that's me.
I'm paying
none of
somebody to
that.
pay. I'm paying somebody.
That's me all day.
I'm paying.
The older I
work
get,
hard
the
for
more
that
I will
luxury.
pay.
You know I work
Yes.
hard for that luxury. That's why I work hard so I can kick my
Exactly.
feet up when I want to about things. No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So I think that will conclude our conversation for today. I would like to thank you guys for participating in this conversation.
Thank you.
And yeah, so you can tell us your Instagram, your social media, stuff of that nature.
Oh, okay. My Instagram is Highly Siddidy LLC. So HIGHLY SIDDITY LLC. That's my Instagram. And my Facebook is just regular, like Jasmine Cross, my name. Social media irks my nerves. So I'm not the best with it. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. Those are my handles. I don't got nothing else. I don't even know about no other platform.
TikTok.
Oh, I do got a
You
TikTok.
got a
It's
TikTok? You out here with a tickety talkie?
oh shoot, I don't even remember the handle of the TikTok. My daughter set it out. Look, child, bye. I'll let y'all know one other day.
All right, listen, come find me, come talk to me, come laugh, come joke, come do everything with me. Thuny_ got it on everything from Snapchat to Twitter,
Oh, I'm jealous.
Instagram.
I'm jealous.
Let's
you have
do
a
it.
Snapchat?
Thuny_ got it. Let's do it. Come check me out. That's it.
I'm jealous. You got a Snapchat. I don't even
got
know
it. I got
Snapchat.
it. Whatever you talk about there, I got it. All right.
You can follow me on Instagram, Shatek the producer, SHATEK the producer. On Instagram, Beatsonfilm, BEATSONFILM. And you can just look my name up. My name is very unique. Shatek, SHATEK. I tried to make sure I was the most famous Shatek in the world. So hopefully that's true. And stay tuned for more content, more visuals, and everything else on the Beats on Film Network. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Later.